3, 2, welcome. My name is Kim from the Parker Daniels Show. Today, on this cold, cold day in December, we have a guest who is also in the cold, which is, to me, I thought was kind of odd because I didn't think North Carolina gets this cold, or that cold, should I say. But the young gentleman we have today with us is, like I said, he's from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and he is totally blind. And we're going to talk to him a little bit today about some of the aspects of his life that he has gone through being a totally blind person, from his childhood, growing up, his schooling, even maybe a little bit into his, he's married, so maybe we'll get into little juicy details about his wife, and raising a child. So we're going to cover a couple different aspects of his life in this clip and everything. So sit back and relax, watch and enjoy as I introduce to you our guest of today, Mr. Derric. Derric, how you doing today?
I'm kind of cold. I'm good. It's 29, and this is the most snow that we've had since I moved here in 2014. So,
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it really snowed in North Carolina. I mean, I've been down here for a while, so that's crazy. I mean, all these southern states are getting cold like this because I think right now we're at 33. So
Well, in the 80s, I'm from Florida originally. In 1989, we actually had a little bit of snow in Jacksonville, so that was very interesting.
really, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Huh. All right, Mr. Derric, tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been blind?
I have been totally blind since birth. They did not know I was blind until I was about 4 months. My mom noticed some things that were not normal, like I wasn't following people with my eyes, and I wasn't responding, I guess, appropriately to visual stimuli. So she noticed that there were some issues right away.
Okay, so what is it that you have?
It is called Leber's amaurosis. It's a very rare, I believe it's congenital, and it's nerves, and it's all kind of different things.
Okay.
But it's rare. Up until 2008, I had light perception, and I lost that. I found out I had cataracts, and so that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I understand that because I've been going through all of that myself and everything. So, okay, so you've been blind basically since birth. Mm-hmm. So what was your education? Where did you go to school?
I was mainstreamed. In fact, I guess you would want to say I kind of developed really quickly, so they kind of finagled it a little bit so I could get in school early. Back in the days when I was growing up, they used to send the teachers out to your home early.
Okay.
And when they would do that, they would get one-on-one time with you. And about 9 months, they started coming to my house.
Okay.
From what I understand, after I went to lunch with one of my teachers recently here when I was in Florida. And so they said that I was developing fast enough to where they didn't really want to wait till the normal age to put me in there. They put me in when I was 2.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Okay, so you were blind. So you were 2-year-old toddler in well, I guess kindergarten, pre-K. I guess I don't think they had pre-K back then. Probably just kindergarten back then, huh?
Yeah.
So
I think it was just kindergarten back then.
Yeah, and everything. So you got an early start in your education, and you were mainstreamed in a public school.
Absolutely.
So
I had the opportunity to go actually to one of the school for the deaf and blind there in St. Augustine. My mom gave me the option later on when I got a little bit older, but I really didn't want to exile myself like that and exclusively just be around blind people. I kind of wanted the regular day-to-day of being around, quote-unquote, normal folks.
Right. So how did that work being in a public school and all that? I mean, I'm assuming you were the only blind person there.
I was. No, actually, I wasn't. had a back then. You had one school,
Uh-huh.
Fishware Elementary, that catered to all the visually impaired. So no, I wasn't the only one.
Okay, okay.
I wasn't the only one.
Did you find to be ridiculed at all during your elementary school days or anything like that?
Probably when I got up to I want to say third to fifth grade, it started. It got a little dicey with the older kids.
Uh-huh.
One in particular ended up meeting my mom and getting the bejesus scared out of her. And that we actually ultimately became very good friends and grew up, through our adult lives. We just became very good friends. But yes, I suffered a little bit of that. Not to the extent where it broke me or anything, but it made you tough.
Yeah. Okay.
It made you tough.
All right. Did you go on to college?
I did a little bit of college. I did 2 years of community college, computer information systems, and I decided that college life just wasn't for me. And so I decided I took a little bit of a sabbatical and I went to Daytona to get some computer skills. Windows, I think at that point we were at Windows 95. That's how old, that's how long ago it was. Learned a little bit about Word, all that good stuff. And I came home and decided to go job hunting.
Okay. And where along the way did you meet your wife?
That's interesting because I had just come out of a relationship with someone in 98.
Okay.
At the end of 98 and around about 99, I went ahead and put myself out there at the time we had call-in lines, a little date line. So from 5 to 6, the men could call in for free and leave voicemails and stuff without having to pay. So of course,
wow.
Being the cheapskate that I am, I actually took advantage of that. And so I called it and I saw her ad and I put it out there in 99 and she called me and here we are.
Wow.
Almost 20 years.
Now, how did she adapt to dating a blind person? How did she adapt to that, in your opinion?
Well, I told her up front, and that's the one thing that I do tell people, like, if you're going to get into it, a life with a sighted woman or sighted anybody, you need to let them know immediately what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? Because there are some adjustments that they have to make as well.
Right.
So
Definitely.
I let her know immediately, what was happening, and she took it like a champ.
Wow.
I didn't know what she was gonna do. I didn't know how she was gonna react, but she dealt with it.
That's good. That is so good. And you have a son, correct?
I do. He is 15. He will be 16 in March.
Okay. So he's 16 going on what, 35?
Basically, yes. Yes, he is.
I remember them days. I do. So how much does he think he can get over on Daddy because Daddy can't see?
A lot. And sometimes he gets the best of me. He's been doing that though since he was little. I've actually, one time when we were living, I actually lost him in our house.
Oh, really?
Part of that was my fault. I was actually on the computer doing something, and the one thing they tell you is you kind of, when they get quiet, you need to worry.
Right.
And he got quiet. And I didn't worry up until I got ready to get up, and I called his name, and he was nowhere to be found. And upon looking around the house a little bit, my brother just happened to come by the house. And so he's looking in his room, and my son is in there. He's about to bust a gut laughing, and he's about, I want to say 2 or 3 at this time. He's probably walking, and he just thought that was just the funniest thing in the world because I couldn't find him.
So he understood at a young age that you were blind.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. And today, does he still give? You say he gives. Does he still give you a hard time about it? Does he still try and sneak around?
Every now and then
he tries to pull one over.
He does.
I understand that. Yeah, they'll do that continuously because my youngest is 24, my oldest is 30, and they're still trying, every once in a while try and get over, but they seem not to remember or forget that Mama has spider sense. So I know.
Yeah.
We know. We may be blind, but we do know. Definitely. So I heard from Anthony that you are also currently singing. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've been singing since I was 2.
Uh-huh.
Right now, I'm kind of trying to figure out how I can get some studio time at the moment.
Uh-huh.
Um, I have had the blessing and the privilege to actually work with some people in the industry. In my younger days, when we did a whole bunch of traveling, I used to be with a community choir, and I got a chance to work with some gospel artists.
Uh-huh.
One in particular who kind of just shaped what I know about music today. His name is John P. Key.
Oh, really?
And,
I know
yeah,
him. I know him.
and I worked with him. Know him.
Okay.
Wonderful dude, man. You'll never find a better individual. Um, he'll work you, but he'll teach you what he knows. You know?
Yeah, love his music. I really do. I love gospel music anyway, which
Yeah,
I
it's
love all
great.
kinds. But I mean, I do love my gospel music and everything, and I do a lot of work
I
from
will
him.
say, being blind has had its advantages because I don't think I would have ever been able to connect up with some of the people that I did. I've met Rick James. I've met
Wow.
Lou Rawls. In fact, when Lou Rawls would come to Jacksonville, I'd get free tickets.
Really?
So when he'd come where we lived at, I'd get
Uh-huh.
free tickets, which I thought was very cool of him to do.
Yes, definitely. Maybe I need to play that blind card. Maybe I get some free tickets.
You have to blame my mom for that, and it used to embarrass me. Once I got older, I was like, "Mom, you don't really. I wish you wouldn't do that." But she played it up. Unfortunately, however you want to look at it. But I got some things to happen.
Uh-huh.
That didn't happen. They weren't happening, you know.
Right. Wow. Well, that is truly amazing. And well, right now I don't know. Anthony might, but I don't know anybody right now in Carolina or in your area, and stuff in the music industry. Most of the people that we have been talking to in the music industry are actually on the West Coast.
Oh, well, yeah. John is in Charlotte, so he's not that far from me.
Okay.
It's
And
about
so,
an hour and some change, but yeah.
but we, like I said, we definitely put it out there on our videos, that any of our guests that we have, that have the opportunity, when people view our videos and stuff, they can contact us, and we will pass on the information to any of our guests that that want that information and stuff.
Cool. That's appreciative.
Yes.
That's appreciative.
Well, that's what we want to do with this whole video thing in the first place, is that we're trying to let people be aware that we may be blind, but there is a lot of us out there who are trying to better themselves, and some of us just don't have the context,
Yeah,
and stuff. So, I mean, if we can pass on information to help somebody else out, hey, I'm all for that and everything. And I will gladly pass on any information that we get through our emails or Facebook, saying, hey, that Derric guy, I kind of like that. I want to hear him sing, and I know it's kind of early in the morning and you probably haven't done, your vocals, but can you break off a piece or not a cappella?
Yeah, I can. Anything particular or?
No, I'm good. I like I said, as long as I'm not big on rap, so
Don't get me started on that.
I don't do the rap crap. That's what I call it with my boys.
It's crap now, but it wasn't when I was growing up. So let me think here.
Well, let's hear a little gospel. I know since you were with John P. Keys, I know you know one of his songs.
I know a lot of his songs. Let's see. It's me, oh Lord. I am standing in the need of prayer.
Yes, indeed. Amen. Yes, I like that.
Yeah,
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely
That
like
was
that.
fun. Yeah, that was. I think when I first got into him, it was in the late '80s, and he came to Jacksonville and did a convention for us
Uh huh.
with another guy that I know from Jacksonville locally.
Okay.
Something I was getting ready to say, but it just escaped me.
That happens to me
maybe
all
it'll
the
come.
time.
Maybe it'll come before we get off here, but it escaped me.
Yeah, it
Oh, I
happens.
was getting ready to say that the job market is so bad. As blind people,
It is. It
we
very
need
much
not
is.
we need not sit back and wait for people to employ us. We probably should be trying to employ ourselves. At
Well,
this
that's
rate.
we're trying to figure out why that is. I mean, I've done a couple different broadcasts in the past and stuff. If you when you go through the YouTube channel and stuff and go through some of the posts, I have broadcasted in the past about the way the politicians think and divvy up the Social Security, and all this with disability. If the politicians would start demanding more opportunities for those of us who are visually impaired, because I have found out it's more difficult for a visually impaired person to get a job than it is for a guy or a person that is in a wheelchair to get a job.
I think it's lack of education.
You know,
I
and
I, I
it
think.
it's
Go
very
ahead.
frustrating, and all that, and all that, and that's why it is lack of education because people just don't know that. I mean, we've got people out here that have got college degrees that are visually blind and can't find a job, and I find it totally ridiculous about it.
Well,
So
I actually have had a couple of experiences, both good and bad, trying to find a job. I actually applied for a company, and they told me that they had a job. But once I got there, and then they found out I was blind, they kind of clammed up, like, "Oh boy, what are we gonna do here?" But then I've had the opposite end of the spectrum where they find out I'm blind, and they're like, "Oh, well, what do we have to do to get you hired?" Like basically,
uh-huh.
she asked all kind of questions, and she was very forward thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had both sides of that, where they embrace you, and then I've had where they are scared like you haven't played when they find out you
Yeah.
can't see.
Yeah. And I think it also depends too on the state that you're currently living in and stuff. Because
Yeah,
I
this was
know,
in Florida,
yeah,
where I had this, where
some
this was going down.
some of the people that we have had guests on our show and stuff, we've interviewed all over the country. And we have noticed where some of the states are more open-minded to
Yeah,
hiring visually impaired, whereas other states, like currently, like here in Louisiana, there's nothing available for
yeah,
those of us who are visually impaired.
that's when you have to kind of start creating your own opportunity and finding out what it is you do well. Find out what your gift is, and make that work for you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Oh
That's
yeah.
when um, you kind of gotta just lean on the Lord and just lean on what you know,
Definitely.
what you're gifted at.
Definitely. Well, in closing, Derric, while we're on that subject right there, what advice can you give to the public about those of us who are rather the just are the blind or by birth or going blind recently? What advice or can you give to somebody who might be going through a trialing situation right now?
I would tell you, not to give up. And if you're a woman or man of faith, keep your communication, your relationship with God up very strong. Pray. But the main thing, don't give up.
Definitely.
It is, it is I don't want to call it an inconvenience because it's really not an inconvenience, but it is a challenge. There are some challenges to being blind, but it also can be a testimony. You
Right.
can run into somebody that knows nothing about blind people,
Right.
and they see you on your phone, or don't be afraid to don't be afraid to interact. Don't be afraid to give people information, because the more information you give, the better it is for the next man or woman that they might run into that's blind. So
Right.
don't be afraid to talk about yourself or tell people about, hey, I'm blind, but this is what I'm doing, and this is
Right.
how I do it.
Definitely. Well, all right. Thank you, Derric. I do appreciate you taking the time out and doing this interview with me today. It has been a pleasure talking with you and everything.
Anytime.
And from me and Anthony both, we wishing you and your family a happy holidays and all that. To those of you who are viewing for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. You can also follow us on Facebook at Parker Daniels, or I'm sorry, at the Parker Daniels Show. You can also contact us through Twitter, Instagram, and our email, which is oh no, wait, what is our email? No, the email is parkerdaniels2018 at yahoo.com. We would love to hear from those of us, from those of you who are subscribed, or anybody who would like to come on our show. Leave us a bio, send us a comment, shoot us an email. We have lots of different ways to get in contact with us. Like I said again earlier, we are out here trying to get those of us who want to be employed in contact with those of you who may be viewing and everything. So, having said that, I also want to give I hate saying a shout out. I can't think of another word of saying it, but giving out warm welcome, or not welcome, but giving out a shout out to my co-host, Anthony Parker. He is at home at the current time and everything. And like I said earlier, from me and Anthony, from our family to your family, we are wishing you a happy holidays. And we will talk to y'all soon. Thank you.